Welcome to the second in a series of Real Moments videos done by yours truly, Ron McCoy. My goal is to record one of these every single day and, of course, upload it on YouTube. And it gives me the opportunity to share my thoughts about things that are going on around me. Thank you for joining me. This morning in church, the topic of the sermon was holy paradoxes or paradoxes. And it's gotten me to thinking about how things are paradoxes. As a matter of fact, I listed some things on here. I always pay very close attention to everything that the minister says. Even if it is the associate pastor, I pay very, very close attention. You'll see some things I was doing on the bulletin that I probably shouldn't have been doing while the minister was talking, but that's another story. But I wrote things like industriously lazy. That's a paradox. A healthy corpse. That's a paradox. A loyal traitor. Again, a paradox. And a quick pilgrimage. These plants that you see behind me, the one behind my right shoulder is flourishing. The one behind my left shoulder, not so much. They're in approximately the same part of my computer room, but they are not thriving equally. Brings me to things that happen at work. I work at Ross, Dress for Less, here in Liberty, Missouri. I started officially on December 11, 2024, about 3 months after I abruptly left my position as a fifth grade teacher. And here I am, nearing 65 years old, and I still feel the need to work, which brings me kind of to the first thing that I wrote on here, industriously lazy. Something I do not understand is able-bodied people, like in their 20s, who choose not to work. I know of a couple of them. One is related to me, and I still haven't figured out why she hasn't gotten a job yet. She's seeking a career path, a job with a career path. But I know when I first started working at Worlds of Fun when I was 17, I didn't think of Worlds of Fun as a career path. I thought of Worlds of Fun as an opportunity to earn money, but it also ended up resulting in my thinking more about my future career because I moved my way up through the ranks from a lowly black tag, which is a regular worker, all the way up to supervisor, which is as high as you can go and still be seasonal. And a lot of those skills that I learned interacting with people, managing people and so forth served me well as I taught sixth grade and then fifth grade, fourth grade, that kind of thing. So it makes me wonder why someone who is able-bodied can't get out and get a job at McDonald's. I mean, they have a sign saying they're hiring, and just about every place is hiring, but that's beside the point. At the place where I work, it's a paradox that people are treated the same, whether they are hard workers or they just kind of come in to stand around and look at their phone when management appears to be not paying any attention. And I work with people who call out regularly. That is an expression that they use over there where I always said call in, where they call because they just don't want to come to work or they're feeling a little under the weather. I go whether I feel like it or not. I did that with teaching as well. Maybe that's the reason why I always do that, because it was always such a pain to have to do substitute plans whenever I was absent and have to come back. So I would always go every day. But I worked with a woman. She started 3 days after She called out pretty regularly. She was almost always late. And yet when she would show up in the morning late, management was always so happy to see her, and they were always so friendly with her and just thought she was the greatest thing. And then she went on vacation, came back for 2 days, and then vanished. Didn't turn in a 2-week notice, didn't say so much as, so long, hope to see you soon. She just quit showing up. And yet she was so highly regarded. She was highly regarded like I feel I am highly regarded, but I feel like I am highly regarded because I show up every single day. I've never called out. I've always been on time. when I am there, I never take my phone out and look at it when I'm supposed to be working. If I go into the bathroom, on occasion, I will check just real quick, especially if my phone is dinged, but I stay off my phone. I work diligently. Paradoxes. All kinds of paradoxes. And, I left teaching after I was in my 40th year of teaching, worked hard, was diligent, kind of on a lark. I applied to teach again in Liberty Public Schools in January. I thought, well, it might be kind of fun to submit my application just to see what happens. And once I submitted it, I got a couple of emails that they were nice. Thank you for submitting your application to Liberty Public Schools. And I know one of them was auto-generated. Thumbs up. And the other, it seemed like maybe it was a personalized note. It said, "Dear Mr. McCoy, thank you for your interest in Liberty Public Schools. We will keep you posted on how things are going," and so forth. Well, shock of shocks, ultimately they said they were going with a different person, as if there was only one elementary school position. And of course, I wouldn't have been able to work in Liberty Public Schools anymore because I officially retired as of the end of September, and I started getting paid in October from public school retirement system. And I did some research, and if I were to get a position again in Liberty Public Schools, I would have to surrender all of the retirement money that I have made since the end of October, which is quite a substantial sum, by the way, and I would be honor bound, or some kind of bound, contractually bound, I don't know. They would have forced me by holding a gun to my head to teach again in Liberty Public Schools for 5 more years, meaning they could do anything they wanted to torture me, and I would have to stay, otherwise I wouldn't be able to draw retirement. I also applied for Oak Hill Day School, a private school over near Gladstone. Heard nothing from them. I applied at the Northland Christian Academy. All of these things I did, kind of like a paradox, where I think, do I really, truly want to put myself through what elementary school teachers put themselves through? But I thought, well, I would give it a try. They too rejected me, even though the same guy who preached at today's sermon this morning wrote out a letter of recommendation for me and so forth because it was required, because it's a religious institution that provides religious infused curriculum for the students who attend that Northland Christian Academy, I believe is what it's called. So it's all about paradoxes, and my life is one big paradox. I love working, but I do find myself sometimes when I'm over there at Ross just chomping at the bit, wanting to get out because I have all these things in mind that I want to accomplish. Like I've redone my gardens around my house. It seems like no matter how much rock I buy for my gardens, I'm buying white rock. It seems like the gardens are absorbing the white rock as I put it in. And I just keep putting more and more in. And I've been revamping, like I mentioned in the last video, revamping every room of my house, cleaning it thoroughly and doing all of these kinds of things. I have my routines, and it's gone through my mind. I'm thinking I could be full-time retired. It seems like I have lots that I enjoy doing. I do like having structure in the morning. I start over at Ross at 5:45. I start over at Ross at 5:45 a.m. every day. I'm almost always the first one in the parking lot. And I like having something to do in the early morning hours, but it's become more and more of a real career because sometimes I'm over there as late as 2:15, 2:30, because if I make it to 1:45 each day, that's 8 hours. And there for a while, I was working 7 to 8 hours over there every single day. That's a little much, and I become obsessive whenever I'm working. I can't leave Ross until All of the merchandise that was delivered for the day is run to the shelves. All the shoes are tagged. All of the luggage is tagged as well. And on many days, I used to be many days. It just depends on who's there. But I also get to account for the money in the cash office. Sometimes I am prevailed upon to work at a cash register. As one of the managers said to me, "You are a master of all trades." You know, there's the saying, jack of all trades, master of none. I feel like I'm mastering a lot of different things at Ross here on the verge of my 65th birthday. So I don't imagine that I'm going to quit Ross unless something else comes along that pays more, because I'm not paid all that well. But who knows? Remember, it's all about paradoxes. And please remember to watch the continuing saga, RM, Ron McCoy, Real Moments, which I am vowing this, will continue to be broadcast every single day. Well, I have other things to do, so I should be racing along. Yes, the best is yet to come.